Hey guys, almost didn't realize we were live. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate today. You got me, Ryan, flying solo. Josh has some other stuff going on, I guess. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, everybody else who's watching. This is Tech Tip Thursday, just the tip, and I got some ideas for y'all, some tech ideas. So go ahead and like the video. There's like a notification bell there on YouTube. You know the drill, all this stuff. Share this with somebody at your office who you think might find it useful. And if you're not already, please do subscribe. That's the obligatory stuff as we start the show. So I'm going to jump around today. So a little bit of ADD might be a little disorienting, but I'm just going to share some of the things that I've been playing with and also get to some enhancements on the KV Core side of things that I just realized were launched this morning that I think some of you guys who use KV Core might find exciting. So let's go ahead here and bring up a screen share. Where are you, screen share? And we'll start with the social post of the day. My social post today was just to steal some content from our friends at Bigger Pockets. They had a video, there was a video released about talking about the 1% rule and an alternative to the 1% rule. I think comment below if you know what the 1% rule is, if you've used it, but basically the 1% rule is when evaluating an investment property, you're going to try to have the monthly rent equal roughly 1% of the purchase price. It's a really rough, raw rule. So this alternative framework that's talked about in the video is this 10% target idea that I forget his name, the gentleman at Bigger Pockets who did the video. But anyway, it's a good video, and it just illustrates a social post technique where you can steal other people's content frequently from YouTube related to real estate investing, kind of editorialize it a little bit. I just did it in a one-liner here and with a link over. The point being that you just want to keep reminding people that you're in the business so they think of you when they want to buy or sell. And if you don't have anything good or creative that day, share something that you're engaging with. And then within the video, he had this really great graphic, and I was like, oh yeah, that'll pop. That looks cool. That's some data. It's colorful and fun. So feel free to go look for that video. Just look on the Bigger Pockets YouTube channel. It just dropped this morning or yesterday. It'll be their latest video if you want to use that. All right, so hopping into some tech tips, a hybrid of tech tips and this real estate transactions growth system course that I'm building out. I'm dropping it in the Inside Real Estate Facebook group, one video at a time, but it'll also be available here to the Wake Up community shortly. I just haven't had time to get it all in. But as I'm building this out, the growth system, one tool on the tech tip front that I used and I've been using a lot for various things is called Miro. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Miro is kind of a storyboarding, what would you call that? A mind mapping software. And I've used it for a number of things to detail processes. The most immediately kind of impactful thing that you guys might use this for is to detail the home selling or the home buying process. Could you imagine some sticky notes like what you see up on the screen talking about the different phases of buying a house, and then the little things that go under it. It just is always cool to have things colorful and bullet pointed. So I'm not going to play with this too much here. I've mostly been using their sticky notes. You see, you can click here, you can pick a color and drop a note, and then you can like duplicate the notes really quickly. I found compared to other mind mapping softwares, this one has been really intuitive to use. I used to use MindMeister back in the day and could never really wrap my head around that. Never used it consistently, but I find myself, I've built about 4 or 5 of these boards in the last few months and figured I'd share it with you guys. So good for content creation, but also good for just mapping things out and planning things with yourself. And they have all kinds of cool like sharing functionality, if you want to share with other people. So that's Miro. The next thing I want to share was just a thought. Where'd my screen go? It was just a thought in Google Drive here as I was doing the real estate transaction list, and this will be in the videos we're doing about that. Here it is. And I think Josh and I talk about this every now and then. We come back to this. But the thing that I wanted to highlight is that I really like the use of Google Docs for delivering lead magnets. So if you're offering something like a curated list, it's always cool to put it on a web page. But if it's something that's freely viewable on the web, it doesn't feel like it has the same value sometimes. So in this case, I did make a page the other day that had all of our real estate transactions on it. And I was lazy. I just did a screenshot of some of the images here. But I kind of like the idea of creating a Google Doc like this and sharing a link. It just feels more special. Or you can download it as a PDF, right? And then maybe send it in a follow-up email. So the context here is that I'm building out a funnel where there's going to be, hey, get the most recent transactions in this market. And then right after somebody opts in, we need to deliver this somehow. Well, if they opt in and they see a video from you, it's like, hey, I just emailed you with transactions, and then they get an email and it's got like the PDF and they have to open the PDF on their computer. It's like a little more of a thing than just going to a website. So, you know, for those of us who think a little bit, if you want to think in terms of NLP, like different modalities and ways of experiencing stuff, to me, it's like you're forcing people to engage a little more because they got to go through that extra step to get into the PDF and stuff. So let me know what you think of that. I don't have any data or proof that this is a better way to do it, but I kind of like it. And I find myself a lot of times going into the files folder. And this is a tip for all you guys, another tech tip. Go into the files folder on your Android or whatever they would call it on that boomer phone, the iPhone thing that you might have. There's all your downloaded files. If you look in there, you'll probably find a lot of old stuff that you downloaded off of Facebook ads or something, and you haven't like looked at it in a while, like old PDF ebooks and things like that. So this is kind of where I'm going, where like it might be cooler to create a doc and then have the thing downloaded right there. So comment below. I mean, do you think that's more valuable, or is it just a pain in the butt and you'd rather just go to the link online? The other problem with the link online is once you visit it and then you close your browser window, you've lost it forever unless you go back and dig through your emails, and hopefully the person you opted in for the thing from, you know, has sent you a follow-up email. So another tech tip there in my bouncing around session today is just look at Google Docs for delivery of your lead magnets. Okay, and then finally, we'll spend a few minutes on this. I just was notified this morning that KV Core has some design stuff in the contact modal that's new, but some of this is actually pretty big for KV Core users. So I was going to just spend a few minutes on this. I know a lot of you guys who are on Josh's team, you have access to KV Core. And even if you don't, if you use another CRM, this might kind of, I don't know, either make you want to check out KV Core or look for similar features in whatever you're using now. So, so it should still be relevant in some way. The biggest thing, and it might seem small, but it was a big KV Core thing, is the ability to add attachments to emails. So comment below if you've always run into this before, where you've wanted to attach something in an email easily without having to create a link to that asset. And this kind of plays along with the thing I was just saying about the real estate transactions list. Actually, I can now actually email that attached PDF if I want to. So I'm going to go here into a contact record. And hopefully, I just learned about this morning. Hopefully, I don't stumble over myself. But I'm going to click Send Email. And I'm going to hope that it is there. CC, BCC, why isn't it there? Oh, I mean, the MLS ID thing is there. So you can now put MLS IDs up here, and it'll add listing info. Smart Editor. I may have looked at this too quickly. I may need to use the advanced editor. Is that what it is? Let me see. All right, I'm going to skip the email attachments and go do my homework, guys. But in theory, you should be able to attach emails. I've done something wrong here in the flow. I'm seeing the other stuff that was in the update. Maybe that was something that was coming next and I didn't get the memo correctly. But I will say, I will point out a few of these other things that I am seeing are live. So if I go to send email, you can attach the MLS ID. You see the use Smart Assistant. I think that's been there a little while. I don't know if you guys have known this, but you can kind of use some AI. So my prompt could be something like, thank someone for checking their home value on my site. And I can click generate. That's pretty cool, huh? We've all seen GPT in action, but it's kind of cool that it's natively embedded here. So that's that. I don't know, you can now toggle on and off the email signature in each of your individualized emails. I don't think that was there before. That's another thing you have to Smart Assist it. Another big one is when sending texts, you are able to send emojis now. and attaching media to your texts. And I'm wondering if this was launching today, and I got the memo this morning, and I thought it was already launched. But you can send media in your texts, and other stuff. You know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to apologize and say tomorrow I'm going to do this better for Follow-Up Friday because I need to find out why I'm not seeing some of this stuff. But I'll quickly give you the gist of the bullet points of what's coming in KV Core here, just the bullet points, and then we'll dive deeper into the individual things because they were cool. I was just working on. So email attachments, toggling the signature, threaded conversation in your text view so you can see all the back and forths a little easier within the threads of a conversation with somebody in your system. I don't know. I thought this stuff was here. You can add emojis and media attachments to text. I think that's a big one. A lot of people, I know the signature toggle has been there, Charlotte. The emojis and media attachments. You can now make calls directly from the platform, better inbound and outbound call logging, and then you can use the smart integration while you're on a call for scripting. So let's just say I'm going to dive deeper on the Inside Real Estate YouTube channel later today. There will be a more detailed video about all these things. For some reason, I thought this stuff was all in there already, but I got the memo wrong. So please forgive me, guys. Let's see here from Daphne. You're not even seeing my new listing in KV Core. This is not their forte. Is that your, yesterday Andre posted that he was having an issue with a listing showing. I don't know if you guys are maybe using, do you use Stellar by any chance? He said that later in the day, he messaged me. He said that he found out that there was something going on at the actual MLS sending the data over to KV Core. So not trying to say that that's the issue in your case, but there was something going on yesterday. KV Core is delayed on IDX feeds. Something's going on with IDX feeds. Okay. Thanks, Lawrence. Okay. Is it always delayed or is it delayed the last few days? They're just slow. I'll check into it over there. I know that some of each MLS has like a different time frame with which they send the data out. But if you are having issues with the speed, sometimes just reaching out to support over there, they can like nudge the MLS team. There's a team that kind of handles those integrations. They can nudge them and maybe they can figure out a way to do it quicker. No guarantees. So it's always slow. All right. Hot button there. Sorry, guys. I can't go in and do anything about it other than tell you that I do know that it is an MLS by MLS thing, and you might have to just ask about it and see if they can do anything. Giselle asked, can I touch on scripting? Yeah, I went over that pretty quick, but the idea would be that when you're in a call with a lead, let's do a new call, let's see if it's in there. So if I do call contact, it'll ring you and them, right? Select his number to call, and then need help with a script, Smart Assistant. So you have a prompt, but I believe there's going to be the ability to have scripts that are either added by your office or scripts that you've custom created already that you can kind of use in the system. So I thought that was the big thing here. I don't know if I'm logged into my account a certain way where I'm not seeing this stuff, but doing this live is not the place to do it. I learned about all this stuff about a half hour ago. I'm like, oh, this would be fun to share on the show, but I need to do my homework more here. But basically, when you're calling the contact, you'll have the ability to use some of these, right? So it might be like, here, we'll just do introduce myself to a new lead looking for new construction properties. Now, to some of us, this might seem funny because you've been in the business forever and you kind of know what to say, right? But it might be interesting, especially when you're newer. It might be interesting to just see what the AI suggests, and maybe there are some of these bullets that you want to bring up as you talk. I wouldn't read this word for word, but I do think there could be some value in the prompting, in the guidance here that it's giving you. Also, I mean, just in terms of creating this smart assistant, just in terms of creating drip emails and stuff like that, could be very, very cool. Okay, so those were my tech tips, guys. Let's refresh and we'll call it a day. It's always going to be a shorter show without both Josh and I. You know, you guys might have noticed usually I just kind of sit back and let him talk a little, and then I chime in. So I'm running out of fuel here, but basically use those docs. Play around with using docs to deliver your curated content. Check out Miro for building out cool graphics and flows and processes. And then what was the other big one there? There was something in the beginning. So agents say, Giselle saying, I can see where the AI listens and offers responses to objections. Yeah, for sure. And you know, you guys have probably seen those demos where AIs are doing like 1 hour long phone calls with the guy with the British voice. If you've, let me know if you've seen that. But basically, it's getting to the point where they can have full on conversations, which is a little scary, but also, I don't know. This business is so hyper local, and mostly that the biggest value we could provide is, hey, I'm looking for XYZ type of property, and then you're able to go, oh yeah, you want a 3-bedroom. Here's a 2-bedroom that's really a 3-bedroom, but it's not listed as a 3-bedroom because it's got this extra room. You know, it's in a cool spot. It's probably priced $20K under market. I don't know if the AI is ever going to be able to do that stuff. So, you know, when we go deep on niches, as we beat this drum all the time, this is funny. This is an automated text I'm getting from an agent. You guys, you can't see the pop-up. It's popping up on my other monitor. But yeah, when you go deep into a niche, you have very specific expertise around a certain property type or certain, you know, customer avatar. I don't think the AI is ever going to be able to beat us at that. But for sure, Giselle, yeah, it's going to listen, offer responses to objections right on the call, right? And it might even be able to do it. Now let's go a step further. What if it just did it in your voice? So I don't know. Crazy times. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. We'll be back tomorrow for follow-up Friday. I will try to have a little more detail for you on these KV core enhancements, but just stay tuned to those channels that they have over there at Inside Real Estate if you're curious about those. And just, you know, hop into your contact records and play around with that. And then we will see you tomorrow for follow-up Friday. If you have any mortgages, send them Josh's way. If you have any just listed or just sold properties, go to justlisted.justsold.com and send some of those cards today. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.